so bei 57. Ich überlege mir jetzt spontan ein Wohnmobil zu kaufen.
Yeah, very warm welcome for the press conference of Sunday's race 2 at the Sachsenring. We have our 3 winning drivers here. Mirko Bortolotti, Lamborghini, second place for Luca Stolz, Mercedes AMG, and third place for Riccardo Feller, Audi. Big congrats. So Mirko, with his third victory of the season, third consecutive weekend, which he took a DTM victory. He is now back in the championship lead. So Mirko, a very big congrats. That was a very hot race for you today.
Yeah, not as hot as Sachsenring. Luckily, we made some changes to the car, which allowed us to have a little bit more air in the cockpit, and that was helping. So yeah, just super proud about this weekend and about this win. It's an amazing performance, amazing job by everyone, the team, Lamborghini, everyone involved. The last 2 weeks have been quite tough. And that's why it's really emotional and really special for me to be here celebrating a win is incredible.
During the race, we heard a radio that you talked to your team manager about some issues with the car, and in the interview, your team manager said it's maybe oil pressure related. So, what was the issue during your stint?
No, the issue was that the message came on the dash, basically.
Okay.
That we had no issue at all on the car, luckily, so we had no power loss or something like that. We just had the oil pressure low alarm coming on, and I immediately reported it, but it never came on again in the last 30 minutes. So I had no loss of power, nothing. The car was working fine. It was just a message coming on the dash. That's it.
When you were in Parc Fermé, you were looking really emotional. Is this kind of a summer of Mirko Bortolotti with now 3 victories on 3 consecutive weekends?
Well, it's been honestly, it's been a great summer. I can't really complain. I think it's wrong to say it's been my summer, but it's been one of those summers that you're dreaming of at the beginning of the season. So for sure, I can't complain. It hasn't been perfect because we see the 3 wins, but we should not forget that we had a DNS at Nürburgring. We had issues yesterday, so we are not running 100% smooth yet. But at least when we had the chance and the shot to go for the win, everything worked fine, and that was really important. But still, we lost some points on the ground here and there, which we need to improve.
During the second part of the race, you almost kept more or less 2-second gap to Luca, but there was one moment where it dropped it below 1 second, but you were immediately able to fight back. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think it was important to win the start without contact issues and whatsoever, trying to defend the place. And then I think, we managed to stay in the lead. I saw that Luca was fighting first with Jack and then with Riccardo in the second stint, so it was pretty busy. So I could manage, my race a bit more relaxed compared to 2 weeks ago when I had this guy pushing me for 1 hour. Nevertheless, I had one moment where I think Luca Engstler had an issue on the top of let's call it the mountain up there, turn 10. And I had to avoid him going into the marbles, and it was quite not the best of feelings, because you go from the maximum grip level to 0 level of grip, and you could easily go in the gravel and stuck there. So we managed to get out, and I had a chat with Luca afterwards. He said he had the same issue, so luckily we both had the same problem, and he couldn't profit from it, but it was for sure not a nice feeling.
So how much pressure did Luca give you during this race?
I think the pressure was there. He wasn't close or stuck to my bumper like Riccardo was 3 weeks ago, but probably also due to the track characteristic. It's really difficult to follow closely on this track, because you have this sector 2 where, when you go into the triple left, close to the guy or the car in front, you just lose the front and you can't really stay connected to the car in order to get a chance to outbrake someone in corners like the last corner, turn 1, for example. So I think the track characteristic helped to have a little bit of more relaxed race.
So after almost perfect summer, you can make it a golden autumn at Red Bull Ring, which is the next round. It partly your home race. So with which momentum, with which feelings do you go to Red Bull Ring now in about 2 weeks?
We go with a great feeling to Red Bull Ring. Always like to race there. As you said, it's a kind of a home race. It's a fantastic racetrack. Yeah, also the surroundings and a lot of people, coming to support. So it's gonna be cool to race at the Red Bull Ring. But at the end of the day, the points you get there are the same that you get here or in other places. So we have to stay really pragmatic. We know we have 4 races left. Unfortunately, if it was for me, I would like to go for another 10 because I'm really having fun. So yeah, we try to have the best 4 races we can and take as many points as possible, ideally.
Okay, thank you, Mirko. Moving on to our second place driver, Luca Stolz. Luca, after a win yesterday, P2, it's almost a perfect weekend for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a really good summary. I didn't expect that we finished so high today, but at the start I just tried to follow Mirko, and I don't know if there was contact between Jack and Frank, because at some point Jack I could overtake him on the inside. But yeah, then the race was still busy for me, especially when the guys came out of the pits. I had to fight. And also always some pressure from Ricardo, who was really fast in the first sector. But I knew when I survived the first sector that he cannot follow in sector 2 and sector 3. Yeah, but it always keeps you busy.
The second place makes you now the best place Mercedes AMG driver in the Drivers' Championship. So you made a big step this weekend. So what is not your position now in the championship? How do you see it for the last 4 races of the season?
Yeah, well, to be completely realistic, I think to speak about the championship in general is a little bit far, because Mirko is for sure quite far ahead, and that the best place AMG is only P5 is also a little bit sad. But yeah, we just take it race by race. Recently, it's really good for us, so we try to take the momentum to Red Bull Ring and also to Hockenheim, and try to finish on the podium as many times as possible.
Coming back to this race today, there was a moment I talked with Mirko where you came quite close. Was it a moment where you thought you can catch him, or was it just too quick today?
Yeah, for sure he was. I probably cannot fight him, especially with the weight in the car I had today. But yeah, the moment he had, I saw it a little bit coming, because he was right. I think it was Luca Engsler with a puncture or something else at the top of the hill. And if you are just 1 meter off the racing line, you get so much pickup, and the car is it's like on ice. And for him, probably Luca was in the worst position, and for me it was a bit better already. But I also had to go offline, and yeah, also Ricardo came quite close. But yeah, it was a bit of a moment.
Okay. Then thank you, Luca. Moving on to our third place driver, Ricardo Feller. Third podium of the 2023 season in DTM. And as we just saw in Parc Fermé, the 215th podium for Abt Sportsline in DTM history. What a great day. So how was your race today?
Yeah, it was not easy. I'm standing here because of my team. They did a flawless job on the pit stop and on the strategy. We gained 2 positions, and yeah, that's the reason for it. Pace-wise, was very difficult to fight these 2 guys. No chance. I hope that we will not be completely off in Red Bull Ring, because it's a track where normally it will be difficult for us. But let's see and hope the best.
At the opening part of the race, what a kind of situation with Jack Aitken. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I didn't watch or re-watch it now. For me, it seemed like he had already contact with Luca, and was a strange behavior on the rear axle, and that's why he lost, I would say, 1.5 meters. So the gap opened, and he was on completely cold tires coming out of the box. So the gap opened, I went for it with my hot tires on the inside line. and obviously it was quite tight. But yeah, to say more, I need to rewatch it first.
How much pressure did you had from behind, from the Frank Pereira Lamborghini?
Yeah, he could always drive a quite tighter line as me, so I knew if I miss a braking point or if I do a mistake, he will be there. So really try to focus as much as I can to not do any mistakes, which worked out luckily. But pace-wise, he was much stronger because I don't know how much the gap was, but he closed it completely in the second stint. And for me, it was quite big in the beginning. I would say 3-4 seconds. So yeah, for sure, we need to get stronger, and a bit more power would help us, obviously.
You are still in P3 in the championship, which gives you a good shot on the championship. But you said Red Bull is traditionally a track where Audi struggled a little bit at the front end performance. So, but at the end, Hockenheim is a track where Audi is traditional not so bad. So, how did you judge the last 4 races from today?
Yeah, honestly, we wanted to close the gap this weekend because normally this track is quite good for us, but we didn't. So the gap is bigger now. So it will be tough for us to close the gap in Red Bull Ring, to be honest. And so we go for the maximum we can, and then see what will happen. I mean, it's 4 races, everything can happen. My gap is, I think, 29 points now. Pole position and the race win, like Mirko had today, is 28 points. So. Let's see. We push as much as we can.
Okay, we are really excited to go to Red Bull Ring. Now, are there any questions from the floor?
Yeah, congrats to you guys. A question from Mirko. Do you now see this victory today and also this hot race yesterday, also after the accident you had, do you see this as a bit as a confirmation also that you are in a great shape and that you managed that all in terms of the physics?
Yeah, I think win is the best confirmation you can get. So, what better feeling do you see? I mean, can you finish higher than win? No. So.
So I guess you feel.
Or maybe did I understand wrong your question?
No, I think you understand it
okay.
correctly. But you feel good and everything is okay. I think yes.
Yeah, I think 10 days ago you sent me a message on WhatsApp and you asked me how I feel, and I gave you an answer. And the next day you wrote something else. So I don't know if it's your job or not, but I gave you an answer there already, and I think I confirmed it to you.
Yeah, but at the same time, you also said that you were trying hard in the last 10 days to be in top shape. So there must have been something.
I'm trying hard since the first day of my life.
Question for Luca. You are always very good in hot races as well. We noticed that. Do you have an explanation for that?
A good air condition in the car? No, I don't know. It's probably a little bit setup related, that our philosophy works a little bit better in hot races. So I hope the sun is out in Red Bull.
Yeah, one more question for Mirko. Will you pay Frank a beer tonight because he managed to stay in front of Thomas Breining today? Maybe that might be very valuable in the championship.
I don't think he likes beer. He's doing his race. I mean, I'm happy when Frank is doing a strong race. So I think he missed the podium by just 1 place. So I think that he had a strong race, and I don't have to pay him any beer. No, why?
Okay. Any other questions? Then thank you guys, and then see you in 2 weeks at beautiful Red Bull Ring. Thank you, everybody.